Imagine you're running a really big project, right? High stakes. And you've got your absolute best people on it, the veterans, the ones you count on. But the deadline's getting closer and closer, and suddenly, bam, one of your most critical players, someone you absolutely need, is sidelined, and you have no idea when they're coming back. It just throws this huge question mark over everything. How do you even start to prepare for that? How do you adapt? Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to dive into all that information out there, grab the important bits, those essential nuggets, and help you get up to speed fast, maybe with a few interesting facts along the way. Today, we are definitely taking a deep dive into the NFL, specifically an update from the Jacksonville Jaguars that's got some people talking, raising eyebrows maybe. We're going to unpack what's going on with veteran defensive tackle Arik Armstead, looking really closely at what head coach Liam Coen just said recently.
Yeah, and our goal here isn't just to, read the headlines. We want to understand why what was said matters so much. What are the real implications for the Jags as they're trying to get ready for the season? So by the end of this, you should have a really clear picture of the whole situation, the context, and maybe even some takeaways that go beyond just football.
And the main source we're digging into today, it's a really good article from Jacksonville Jaguars on SI. John Shipley wrote it, detailing that update from Coach Coen on August 5th. So, very current. Okay, so let's set the scene here. We're talking about NFL training camp, super important time. For the Jaguars, camp had been going for about 2 weeks before this August 5th update came out. And this period, I mean, it's everything for a team, right? Building chemistry, installing plays, getting everyone on the same page. You really can't downplay it.
Absolutely vital.
But even when camp started, there were, let's say, some rumbles. Quiet concerns, maybe, about their defensive tackle spot. Just quickly, for context, another key DTT, Mason Smith, he was put on the PUP list, physically unable to perform before camp even began.
Right, so he's out indefinitely until cleared.
Exactly. So that position, it already had a bit of a shadow over it in terms of depth.
And what's really fascinating, or maybe concerning, is how Armstead's situation has kind of unfolded almost step by step. He's the veteran guy, right? The source calls him their most important interior defender, and that's probably accurate. He's the anchor. Now, for the first week or so of camp, he was doing some individual drills, technique work, conditioning stuff. But, and this is the key thing, he wasn't doing any of the team drills, the full 11-on-11 stuff.
Right, which even for a vet, missing that group work, that tells you something's up. It signals limitations. And then things took a more definite turn. Last Friday, this was before the big update on the 5th and right before their stadium scrimmage.
Kind of a dress rehearsal?
Yeah, exactly. The team officially listed Armstead as day-to-day lower back injury. That's a big change. It's not just limited, it's an actual injury designation now. They're acknowledging a specific problem.
And since that day-to-day label came out, he's basically been completely sidelined. In totality, as the article puts it. We're talking double-digit camp days missed now. And he's not even doing the individual stuff anymore. He's just out.
Wow.
So the question gets louder every day, right? When is this guy, their most important interior defender, actually going to get back on the field? If he even gets back before week 1, the uncertainty is really building.
Which brings us to Tuesday, August 5th. Head coach Liam Coen gives this update, and the article flat out calls it considerable and troubling. And, I mean, listen to the quote. You'll see why. Coen said, he's a veteran who, ultimately, he'll probably know how to get himself ready to go, I would hope.
I would hope. That part jumps out.
It really does. He continues, the key is just making sure that he's healthy and ready to go for the first game, and ultimately, it is a long season, as we know. Now, not to say that early ones aren't obviously as important as late ones, but it is a long season, and we're really just trying to get him to be as healthy as possible.
Yeah, that phrase, I would hope, coming from a head coach about a key veteran getting himself ready, that's not exactly brimming with confidence, is it?
Yeah.
It suggests there's real uncertainty there. Maybe he doesn't have a firm timeline, or maybe he's just not getting clear signals from the player or the medical staff. It's telling.
It really is.
And then piling on with the long season talk, emphasizing getting him as healthy as possible. Look, coaches say that, but here it feels like managing expectations. It suggests they're thinking long-term, maybe willing to sacrifice his presence early on to make sure he's okay later, which is a strategy, but it's definitely a gamble for week 1.
And the article nails this point, saying the fact that the question of his availability for week 1 is now a topic is a considerable and troubling update. It shifted from when will he practice to will he even play in the first game. And when Coen was asked point blank, will Armstead be ready for week 1, his answer was, well, listen, I would think so. I would think so. It's hard for me to say right now, though.
Oof. Not exactly a ringing endorsement. I would think so twice, followed by hard for me to say. That's a lot of hedging.
Yeah, a ton of ambiguity. And for such a crucial player, that kind of uncertainty, you have to imagine it sends ripples through the team. Now, let's add another perspective here. Think about the defensive coordinator, Anthony Campanile. He was asked about Armstead last week. This was actually before the official day-to-day thing in Coen's comments. And Campanile, understandably, was focused on getting him back ASAP. He said, quote, "I think we all need the work out there playing, but as soon as he gets out there, it's going to be a big help to us. So we're excited about getting Arik back out there, for sure."
You can hear the difference, right?
Totally. It's the tactical guy saying, look, we need him now. No talk of the long season, just the immediate need for him on the field.
And if you connect those two perspectives, Coen and Campanile, you see this tension, right? It's almost a strategic difference in viewpoint. Coen, the head coach, he's got the big picture view. The whole 17-game season, playoffs maybe. He's thinking long-term health for a key asset, prioritizing as healthy as possible over the long haul. Makes sense. But Campanile, he's in the trenches, schematically speaking. He needs his best players practicing the defense, building that cohesion. Because even for a smart vet like Armstead, missing all these team reps, that's huge. It's missed time gelling with line mates, refining stunts, understanding communication adjustments in new schemes.
Right. It's not just about individual readiness.
Exactly. When a guy like Armstead, who eats up blockers and collapses the pocket, isn't there, it affects everyone. The edge rushers don't get those one-on-ones as often. The linebackers have more traffic to deal with. It creates real gaps in how the defense operates right when they should be solidifying things.
And this whole thing, why it should matter to you listening, it really goes beyond just football. Think back to that analogy we started with. You're running that tech company, right? Ready to launch. Your lead architect, the brain behind it all, is suddenly out for the final crunch time. They know their stuff, sure, but they're not there for the last-minute fixes, the unexpected bugs, the team problem-solving right before launch.
Yeah, how does that affect the team's vibe, their confidence?
Exactly, or the timeline. Or even just the perception of the final product, if there are doubts. Or maybe you're leading a consulting team. Huge client presentation coming up. Your star presenter gets sick days before. They're a veteran, they know the pitch inside out, but can they really be sharp without those final run-throughs, the team dynamic practice?
It's never just about the one person missing, is it?
Never. It's that ripple effect. The uncertainty, the impact on morale, on collective execution. It forces you to ask tough questions, like how do you plan for losing key people? How open are you about that uncertainty? And what's the real trade-off between protecting someone long-term versus needing them right now? Armstead's situation is a perfect example of these universal challenges.
So pulling it all together, what does this mean for the Jaguars heading towards Week 1?
Right.
This troubling update, it's more than just one guy's back injury. It's the cloud of uncertainty hanging over a really, really critical position. An elite interior defender like him, he's central to stopping the run and pushing the pocket on pass plays.
Demands double teams.
Right, which frees up others. And remember, their DT room already had questions with Mason Smith on PUP. Armstead being out this long just magnifies that problem. It probably means younger, less experienced guys had to step up more than planned. That impacts the whole defensive line's effectiveness, their rotation, their stamina. It just adds a huge layer of pressure and, frankly, complexity for the coaching staff trying to finalize their game plan for Week 1 with a massive piece of the puzzle still missing. It's about strategy and readiness as much as health.
So we've taken our deep dive into this troubling update on Arik Armstead from the Jaguars. We traced how his status changed. We picked apart those cautious comments from Coach Coen.
And contrasted them with the immediate needs voiced by the DC, Campanile.
Yeah, it really highlights that balancing act that happens in these high-pressure situations.
And, this kind of scenario, you see it in sports all the time, but it really does mirror challenges everywhere, doesn't it? It brings up that fundamental question. How do you balance the long view, the asset's long-term health and performance, with the urgent, right-now demands of the game, or the project, or the business goal? What really stands out to you when you think about those tough calls leaders have to make when a crucial element is suddenly taken out of the equation, maybe indefinitely? It's something worth pondering.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you're walking away feeling a little more well-informed.